what would you call this, a drill? Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Coffee with Father James. I'm here in the church, St. Peter's Church, drinking from the kind of drill-like themed coffee mug that is going to tell you that we're going to talk about buildings. I want to talk to you about two different kinds of buildings. Buildings made up of two different kinds of stones. We have stones of brick and mortar, such as what you see around me today. And we have what the New Testament calls in 1 Peter's first letter, chapter 2, verses 4 to 5, living stones. Living stones. That is a church made up of people. We're talking about the spiritual reality of the church. St. Paul also uses this metaphor. He says that we are God's building. We are God's servants working together. You are God's field, God's building. He says, according to the grace of God given to me, like a skilled master builder, I laid a foundation and someone else is building upon it. So this idea of the church as a building built on the cornerstone of Jesus and the foundation stones of the apostles were built up. So two types of building, the church of people, in a sense, building made up of living stones of people, and the physical building. For us as Catholics, the physical building isn't just the gathering space. It has a kind of a sacramental presence. It's a sign as a sacred building dedicated for worship, of which we find the Blessed Sacrament preserved. It's not just merely functional. That's why so many of our spaces are beyond function. I mean, we generally have striven in past decades for aesthetic quality. So we want our buildings to be beautiful, inspiring, and not just functional. Because we recognize that there's a sacredness to the place. And so we've traditionally valued both. But I think over the last number of centuries, the emphasis has certainly been more on the physical buildings. To this day, when we say the church, we often mean the physical building, rather than what the New Testament calls the church of living stones, the church of people. In our parish right now, we have the challenge of both buildings. A couple of weeks ago, we actually crossed the 1,000 mark in Sunday attendance. Sunday attendance over the last 5 years has steadily been going up. 5 years ago, we were less than 500, actually closer to 300, 400 people. Of course, we were just at the tail end of COVID and opening up for Mass again. But we've, even prior to COVID, at this particular location, we were only getting about 600 people on a weekend. And so the church is growing, not just in numbers and Sundays, but the number of conversions, the number of adult baptisms, people coming into the church, the activity, our alpha. There are signs of spiritual fruitfulness all over the place. So the church of living stones is growing, and it is being built up. And that comes with a challenge, because we always have to have enough resources in order to support people. If the church is being built up, you need to put scaffolding in place in order to support it as it's being built. You have to have laborers who help to work on the building to grow it. And a growing church will always push the limits. It will always challenge you in the resources that you presently have. So we want to be a growing church because we expect to be a healthy church, and healthy things grow and bear fruit. So that's one of the tasks before us, that we have to support this. Well, the other challenge we have as a parish is the physical reality. And if you've been tracking with these videos over the last couple of months, years, you know that we have been looking at a building renewal project here at this location. Specifically, this present building was opened in 1969. It's almost as old as the present pastor. It hasn't really had any work done to it since that time. It's passed through the hands of multiple generations. It's now in our hands, and the building is tired. It needs some major work. It the bell tower, for instance, effectively needs to come down. And the original design of the space, it really is not, I don't believe, effective for our present reality, because one of our biggest challenges is we don't have a gathering space to gather after Mass. This past weekend, there must have been 150 people stayed around inside the church after the 11 o'clock Mass because there's nowhere else to go. And so it's a real challenge. And one of the things we're looking at is not so much even what are our present needs, where are we going and what are we going to need for the future? And how is God calling us to be good stewards with what we have? And so that's a challenge. And we have been planning for the last couple of years a building project that would, basically we would sell, the plan was, it was a good plan, to sell the available land, that we had the excess land, and use that money to invest in renewing the building. And the plan that was first laid out about 4 years ago that we began to research was a good plan. I mean, all the professionals that we consulted with said that we were right on. Problem in the last year, a number of things have happened. So if you think about these two level, cost and available resources, the housing market has actually gone into a bit of a slump, or not a slump, but the demand isn't very high. So that means that the value of the land, the sale of the land, is not going to be as high as we think. So that's dropped a bit. And the costs of building have actually, for many reasons, like many things in the marketplace, have actually gone up. So it's created a gap, a sizable gap between available resources and the cost of the project. Now, we've been working with the architectural firm, and we've reduced the scope of the project once. We priced it. We reduced it again. We priced it. We reduced it again. And we priced it again. And it's been reduced, contracted 4 times now. And we're probably the closest it's ever going to be. And I think it's almost a sense, if we contract it anymore, it's going to be like building a hut onto the side of the building. It's not going to be worth it. It's like, so here's the dilemma. We've still got this gap. And over the next number of months, we really need to discern as a parish, where are we going here? Because here's what we can't let happen. If we've got a gap here, then it has to be filled either with a capital campaign or with debt. And the problem with the debt issue is that when you have debt, you have to finance the debt. And the more debt you have, the less resources you have available for the other building. Remember the other building, the building of living stones? You say, well, can't you support that building of living stones with volunteers? We have hundreds of people volunteering in ministry in our parish right now. Hundreds. 300 to 400 people. Who supports those people? You need staff members. You can't have a church that is mobilizing and fully alive without building the scaffolding. You have to do both. And so that's the dilemma. And that's what we're dealing with right now. And I don't have a solution for you. I don't have an answer to this dilemma. What I'm communicating or trying to communicate in this video is that in the coming weeks, we talked about this at the Leadership Summit that happened recently with many of the leaders in our parish. We're going to be meeting very soon with the Parish Pastoral Council to discuss this. And we will be having consultation in general with the parishioners. But this is a critical moment of discernment for us about what do we do. Do we push ahead? What is God calling us to do? There's another affordable housing project that we believe is a strong possibility at the St. Anthony's location. That's, again, a long-term project. When do we do that? What's the order of priority? So these are big decisions that have been, in one sense, have seemed theoretical at times, quite abstract, but now they're coming in from the cold and they're sitting in front of us, and we're going to have to make these decisions soon. So I'm communicating this to ask for your prayers, to ask for your careful reflection and your engagement in this process when the time comes. So here's to the buildings. We're called to do both. That is the dilemma. We're called to be stewards of what's been given us so that this place, this building, can be a sign of God's kingdom, a sign of God's presence, a place to gather and celebrate the Eucharist, a place of prayer, a place of formation, a place of outreach, of mission. But none of that matters if we don't actually build the church of living stones with the foundation and the person of Jesus. So God bless everyone. Take care.